Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nuuli Forged. We are a 5e actual play stream that takes place in the world of Nuuli, and 6 of my friends are brave enough to play in, because we all got problems in this world, and I'm theirs. I've got it. Thank you for the Pikachus. Amber, who plays Ozo, will be along a little later. But in the meantime, I need somebody to roll me a d30, and we can go around and figure out, or we can do our introductions. I just need someone to roll that beautiful funness. Ooh.
I rolled a nat 1 last week.
Yeah. Well,
that's true.
We got a 5 this week, so that's great. So, really straightforward question, and very funny given what's happened lately. Please introduce yourselves, your character, and answer the question: does your character enjoy camping outdoors? That's the question.
Hey, I'm Sarah, and I play Andra. Oh, you didn't.
No, you're up at the top of the list. Go for it.
Jumping the gun.
I play Andra Grayspark, the halfling wizard who absolutely in no case likes camping in any shape or form and is really glad to be back someplace with beds.
Sarah's like, I know this one.
Answer.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Next up, we've got Matt.
Oh God, I wasn't ready. I am Matt. I play Chorus, the changeling Phantom Rogue. And he is not as vehemently opposed to it as Andre is, but it's not his thing either. He did thankfully get some tips from Selenar on what gear to pack, and so he had a much better time. And a gorilla didn't fall in his tent.
Fair enough. Next up.
Things, really.
Yeah. Next up, we got Tanner.
Hi, I'm Tanner. I'm playing Lunine, the Hexblood Fainite, and no to the camping. I think he's had enough of that over the past few months of rough conditions.
Very fair. Matt's digging for takeout, and I'm jealous.
I'm sorry, was it noisy?
A little bit.
Oh, the camera can see my lap now. Was it really? Oh, I don't have push to talk on. I'm a silly goose. Hang on.
It's all good. Next up, we've got...
As far as I'm concerned.
It's all good. Next up, we've got Mike.
Hello, I'm Mike. I play Renata Soul Angel. And when it comes to camping, Renato could be a fan of it. If there's a little kumbaya sing-along happening at the campfire. But once that's over with, it's like a one-and-done night type of thing. He doesn't like this prolonged camping in the woods, jungle, whatever experience.
All right, fair enough. And then at the bottom rung of our ladder here, we've got Jeff.
Hello, I'm Jeff. I play Selenar, an elf druid, and it's not that he seeks camping out because he likes it, he's just very comfortable not being under a roof, so...
Fair enough. Fair enough. And my name is Jared. I'm your dungeon master here on Nuuli Forged. I play everyone and everything else that is not the 6 player characters. And it's... Some people like camping, some people don't. It depends on who they are. Well, all that being said, let's dive into last time on Nuuli Forged and get this game going. Ahem. Last time on Nuuli Forged, the Dead Ringers boarded the Unbroken Bow, a merchant ship bound for the city of Madinat on the desert continent of Hessian, homeland of the one and only Renata Soul Angel. The ship was under the command of Andra's brother, Rudibert Grandspark, who was surprised to see his sister as she was supposed to be under the tutelage of a wizard named Imelod. She gave her brother a very flimsy excuse that he did not quite believe, but he did not press her too far, hoping that she would admit the truth of whatever was going on during their voyage. She didn't. Meanwhile, the others made themselves useful aboard ship as they were escorted by 3 different pirate vessels, the Bloody Mast, the Dawn's Nightmare, and the Wave Cutter, all of which sailed under the flag of the pirate Commodore Janiah Fierceheart. After about 3 weeks to a month or so, the party arrived in the glistening city of Madinat, the Pearl of the Sands, on the desert continent of Hessian, home to a robust trading port that deals in marble, spices, and pearls, and as previously stated, is the hometown of Renata. After a brief shopping trip, Renata secured lodgings for the Ringers, being uncharacteristically demure and trying not to be seen or share his name until Selenar casually intervened. And after the rooms were settled up at the Silver Set, Renata attempted to sneak out, but was intercepted by Selenar, who decided to join him on his excursion. Together, they made their way through the streets and back alleys until they arrived in the Dust Barrow, the slums of the city, on a street known as Tallow's Rut. There they found Renata's childhood home, open, broken, uninhabited, and as they went to venture in, they were told to raise their hands and turn around as the pair of ringers, the dead ringers duo, as it were, find themselves face to face with a trio of children brandishing rusty, vicious-looking knives at them, which is where we will pick up. Renata and Selenar, you have turned around in this kind of very dusty, dingy, kind of run-down area of town. The only souls around are these 3 youths. The one in the middle seems to be a human lad, dark skin, of about 15 years or so. The other 2, one is a they're probably a couple years younger than the one in the middle, so he's probably the leader. And they look to be a little shorter, a little smaller. One is a human with like a more tan colored skin, sort of a medium kind of tan, with kind of dark eyes and very sallow cheeks. The third individual is a feline who seems to have not yet quite grown into their whiskers yet. All of them are holding these rusty knives at you, as the one in the center goes, "All right, give us what you got. We know you've got money. You're too fancy to be here without it."
Yeah, do I recognize any of them?
Make a investigation check.
Yeah, nat 20.
Yeah. The one in the middle, you recognize immediately. This is Sahin.
Sahin.
Yeah, who is a little urchin boy that like ran around the neighborhood. Was much younger than you. The thing that immediately sticks out is you recognize the facial features, and you see that he's got a new scar over his, because he's not wearing much of a shirt. It's more like kind of the like suggestion of a shirt with a deep V and kind of very wide open, barely hugging onto the shoulders. Seems thin but toned, but more from not eating as opposed to like working out.
Yeah.
The thing that really strikes you about Sahin is he looks to be much older than the last time you saw him. Like when you...
Puberty. I get it.
Well,
Get that growth spurt.
he's a good 1.5 feet taller, and as far as you know, by your count, he should be 11 years old. And he looks about 15.
I am still going to chalk that up to puberty.
Okay.
It's all of us very strange, very weird. But now, the next question, does Sahin recognize me?
Doesn't seem to.
Okay. So I'll take a step forward and I'll say, I don't want any trouble here of all places, I'll dig into my pocket, and I will. What? Let's do a random number of how many gold pieces I'll throw out to them. 12 gold pieces I take out
Oh
and just
my god.
Oh no.
12 gold is like a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Selenar, when you do
let me
that,
just double check to make sure I have that. No, I still have. Yeah, I have that.
or
I
do
had
you
the
like,
funds.
you go to reach for it and I say, I don't know if that's a great idea. They just look hungry.
Yeah, and this money will help feed them and their families and friends. Take it. And as I kind of reach out my hand,
Okay, Saheen kind of holds the little rusty knife, like, no tricks, no tricks. And he, like, reaches out and grabs towards the gold.
yeah, no, certainly no tricks. Once his hand's in reach, as he opens up his palm, I drop the gold pieces.
Yeah, they are, there's too many for his, like, smaller hand. So a couple of them, like, tinkle out, and he, like, watches you and kind of, like, leans down slowly and, like, carefully picks them up and tucks them all inside of his shirt. And he kind of looks over at Selenar and kind of, like, looks at you, and you can tell he's trying to think about if he's going to shake down Selenar as well.
I just give him a, as he's sizing up Selenar, I just kind of look at him and shake my head slowly.
What are you trying to convey in that? Are you trying to convey you don't have anything, or you're trying to convey don't even try it?
Don't even try it.
Make an intimidation check.
A 3.
You can't scare a couple of
No,
kids.
5.
You shake your head, and his, like, demeanor is like, aha, I've got him, and he, like, changes and points the dagger directly at you. Right, and now you.
I will step in front of that dagger, like between him and Selenar, and say, "You've got a lot more than anyone else passing through. Take this victory, and please leave us in peace."
Make a persuasion check.
I rolled a nat 20 before, so Mike's Law, nat 1.
No.
22.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You see he kind of, like, thinks about it and kind of backs off. All right. Well, we are going to leave, but not because you say so. Because I don't think your elf friend has any money. He wears a lot of drab colors, not very fancy. And he kind of, like, backs up to the other two and, like, nods, and then they all, like, scamper off in different directions.
We probably shouldn't stay here very long. Won't be surprised if they come back with more friends.
I kind of forgot. I forgot. I did tell you. Yeah, I think I told you that this is my childhood home in last week's episode. So I'll say, perhaps you shouldn't, but I sort of want to just spend the night here. I used to live here.
Do you want to go in?
I thought we were already in. I thought we were like in the doorway.
I think we're like standing out in the street in front. I don't think we've gone in yet.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. I do. Yes.
I lead the way. You first.
Cool. Welcome to my crib. As I step inside.
Yeah, you step inside the disheveled place. The curtain that once kind of like acted as a door is like broken off and like busted and like kind of half hanging. And you move it and like dirt and dust like flow off of it. And inside it is pretty much disheveled and destroyed as well. It is covered with dirt and dust and who knows what else. There is a strong odor of misuse and remnants from leavings of rats, other animals, maybe even people. Anything that had any sort of resale value is gone. Furniture is smashed, broken, or gone. There's nothing lining any of the little alcoves built into the walls. Little like adobe walls sort of vibes. The structure is there, but the care is gone, and like the actual physical door that like you used to be able to close behind the curtains is torn off the hinges and like thrown on a side somewhere and is busted open. Just a quick cursory glance around in here. It's been ransacked, it's been used, it's been cleaned out, and it's been disheveled. And
Seen better days.
it has been here, and it looks like it's been this way a long time. Selenar, go ahead, make a survival check for me.
I swear to God, I just rolled another 3.
Well,
Mike's Law.
Why do I even play? It just 3 every time.
well, you are very well trained at this, and even at a casual glance, you can tell that it's been 3 to 5 years, or at least since like someone's like lived in here. You can smell the decay of perhaps like dead rats or something, and you can definitely smell like the feces left behind by those creatures.
You sure you'd like to stay? I'm not sure you'll find anything of use here.
No, it's not that. It's I don't know.
The smell is very overpowering, just so you know. It is like rancid.
I will open the window, Jared, okay? I'll just kind of...
Well, the windows are smashed, and the roof is a bit open as well, so it just lingers.
Ventilation is not the problem.
Yeah.
It's baked into the walls.
Let me just have my emo moment here.
You can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. I know it is not a princely palace, but perhaps just for the memories.
There is value in that.
But I just had a sudden urge to come and see if this place was still standing. And it is, if by a thread. But I perhaps now, knowing that it's here still, we can make our way back. I'm sure dinner will be soon.
Yeah, Selenar isn't making any plans to stay. Like, he doesn't... You know, you say, let's head back. He's like, okay.
So you both are going to head back to the silver set.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna have
We
like...
have some days here. If you need to come back, it will... still be here waiting for you.
Thank you, Selenar. And as we leave, as I take one sort of last look before heading back out, all these memories just flood into my head. Happier times. Even if I was poor, like these kids who had accosted us.
As you look around one final time, go ahead, make a perception check.
Damn, 322s in a row.
Wow, nice.
What does this mean? I don't understand. This never before happened.
As you,
Good roll.
as you turn around and kind of like look over, you easily catch a very large bit of graffiti that's been like painted onto the wall. It doesn't look fresh. It looks like it's been there for some amount of time, and it's one word, and it's just traitor.
I paused in front of this graffiti, and if I may, I don't know, make a check of some sort, maybe a history check to see if, I don't know what kind of check this would be, but would I have any thought that this has something to do with me or my mom, or is it just, random kids coming in and writing random graffiti words?
I mean,
That's such a random graffiti word.
maybe it might have to do with you or something. I mean,
Cat butter.
you can try to make a check. You tell me what kind of check you want to make. It can be a history check, or it can be an insight check, maybe.
Let's try insight.
Okay. Damn.
Holy crap. The
Wow.
422
I'm
in a row.
afraid. I'm so afraid.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But I like this glitch. Whatever this glitch is, keep it coming, baby.
It's better than just 3 glitch.
Yeah. Very cool. So, yeah. The strokes are, you can tell that the strokes are deliberate and pointed, and the spelling is accurate, but it looks a little unsure. Like they weren't quite sure how to spell it, or they stopped halfway and like asked for confirmation on how to finish it. But you do, I will say, on a 22, you recognize like this writing style, the like handwriting essentially, and it belongs to Quick to Ire.
Yeah, you always wrote angrily.
Yeah.
The little stinker.
Yeah. I don't say anything. Although I do think that's weird. I wonder who he's talking about. Because if it's Renata that he's talking about,
It feels pointed.
I think I'm a traitor. Yeah. Maybe he drew like a finger, like right next to the word. Traitor.
It's just a mirror on the wall.
Well, you know that Quick was not a subtle individual.
Nah, quick reaction. Usually an angry reaction. Yeah, so I kind of look at this, kind of tilt my head a little bit and say, to Selenar, I'd be like, yeah, kids got in here, huh? Made a mess of this place.
How long have you been
well.
away?
A year, about? not that long, and yet so much has changed. But then also not. I don't know. I'm really confused. I'm just lost in my thoughts. Sometimes the memories make it seem like it's not so long ago, but then I stand in this place and I see time ravaging everything.
This is a lot of degradation for just a year. Were there other... This is out of character. Was this the only house in this state? Or the whole neighborhood was like totally run down and...
The whole neighborhood is a little shoddy, and it doesn't have like windows as much as it has like curtains or like maybe shutters, but no like panes of glass or anything. It's all dingy. This one sticks out in that it is much more unkempt than the others.
I look to Selenar and say, what can you expect? The dust sparrows. Just another slum in another city.
Do you have any idea why this house might be a little more targeted? It seems much more run down than the others, and in a year...
Actually, that's a good question, Jared. Would I have any reason, or would there be any reason why some other family didn't move in?
No, like normally if someone abandons something, especially in the dust barrel, someone else usually comes in and takes it. Like for someone to not have taken over this spot is unusual.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah, no, pure luck it seems that no one took this place over. Maybe it was meant for me to come back to. I don't know.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I think I had a bit enough of a walk down memory lane, so why don't we head back now? But I will say, Selenar, thank you for accompanying me.
You are welcome. And then we leave.
Okay. You head back towards the silver set. Meanwhile, while the others are gone, is there anything anybody else wanted to achieve here at the silver set between the remaining 4 figures?
People, I'm assuming.
That's us, yes.
How much time do we have before we agreed to meet up?
Couple of hours before dinner service starts.
I must admit, when you trailed off on 4, I thought you were going to say hours, so that's where my brain went. Yeah, I would like to get changed into my new threads. I'm hip, I promise. And quick question, actually. Would is it too late to go back and talk to the pirates that dropped us off?
You don't know. You've been gone for a couple hours.
Everyone freeze?
No, just you.
Just you. But
Not from my perspective.
you're back now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the last
Yeah.
thing you heard? Because everyone gave me a weird silent look, and I was like, oh, I thought it was...
No, we heard everything. But it's been a few hours since you left the merchant ship.
Well, I go to the docks just to see if the ship's still there.
Okay.
In my new clothing, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, you take some time, head down to the docks. You see the broken bow is still in port. It looks like it's got a guard up on deck.
Something that struck me tonight, given what Cash has tasked Corvus with doing, would Cash have any... Would he be opposed to dealing with pirates?
You don't think so, but as a reminder, the ship that you came in on was not a pirate ship.
Yeah, but didn't we get escorted into... Or they left us a long time ago?
Oh no, they left you for the last couple of days.
Oh, okay. It was just the one ship coming in. Never mind. I missed an opportunity on the boats on the ships.
No.
Then.
There was one pirate who stayed with you the whole trip.
But he didn't come to shore with us, though. He got back on when the last pirate ship.
No, he did the full journey because he was supposed to make the introductions for Rudibert here in Madinat to whatever they're doing.
Oh, I missed that. Okay. Let me see if I can find his name in my notes. 1 second.
Yeah.
I'd like to go find him.
Alabaster Stormswell.
That's right, Stormswell.
Yeah, say that's Stormswell.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to look for him.
Do you just go up the ship in your new clothes? Are you disguising yourself in any way, or are you just dressed differently?
I want to look like Corvus did on the ship.
Okay.
So I might have new clothes underneath, but I think I could like let my little shawl down or something, whatever, cowl.
Sure.
Make sure I've got my...
Yeah, you head back up to the ship. The captain is aboard. And he nods. He's like, Mr. Corvus, was there something you forgot aboard ship?
Yes, I sort of, but there's an interesting person that had accompanied us on the ship, and I realized that I just had some, I never got to introduce myself. Wanted to see if he was still around, Mr. Stormswell, I think.
Oh, yes. Stormswell, of course, has... he has gone off with Mr. Grandspark to make whatever introductions he is going to make.
I see. Is this a private and sensitive introduction?
Well, I don't know where it is.
Oh, I see. Do you know what direction they headed off in?
He points towards the docks. It is a sprawling location. They could have been anywhere.
I see. He gave you no inclination as to where he would be alone with a pirate?
Well, he did not go alone, of course. He's not foolish, and nor am I. I sent him with a company of 2 bodyguards and 3 other additional crew members.
I see. But, well, I don't want to interfere in business that's not mine. If you prefer to keep their whereabouts private, I understand.
Mr. Corvus, I am not in the habit of playing coy with people. If I knew where they were, I would tell you, but I don't.
Fair enough.
Neither Mr. Stormsfell nor Mr. Grandspark felt like sharing that information at the time.
Is Stormswell staying on the ship tonight, or is he has a place in town?
I am not privy to his plans for the
he was
evening.
sleeping on your ship, though, no?
I don't know if he is sleeping on the ship, but I do know he did not remove his belongings.
I see. Well, perhaps I'll catch him some other time, then.
Of course. I am unsure how long we will be berthed here, but come by any time to try again.
And Corvus will nod and turn. I don't think I feel like playing detective on this one, so I'm going to let that go, and I might try it another time. So I'm going to head to this, I don't know, center of town, I guess. And Corvus wants to like get a look around at this new city, and probably no better place to people watch than, whatever the most populous area might be. Probably very near the markets we were in earlier, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, make an investigation check.
I would like to do so not as Corvus, however.
Okay.
That's it.
Who would you like to do this as?
I am forgetting the name I chose, but I've got that old man beggar guys that I have not used in game, but I have in a past pre-session 0 used. So that is who I'd be going as. And I've got a little like raggedy old thing to throw over me, and he's got a scraggly beard and looks old, bushy eyebrows kind of thing. Yeah, I'm gonna set up somewhere that might look like a corner that a beggar would hang out on, and maybe put a cup down or a bag, empty bag.
Yeah, go ahead. Make an investigation check. Glorious. Yeah, so you find a perfect spot to kind of like people watch and kind of get a vibe on things. And you play the beggar role of being like quiet and over, and you look the part very easily with your sunken eyes and scraggly beard and unkempt hair or bald or whatever it is you want. This aged, grizzled old individual.
Yeah, I imagine he's balding, but I've got some sort of like threadbare straw hat that I'm wearing that is clearly missing a section at the top, like it's just open.
Yeah, you sell the part really well, and you spent some time kind of watching. You see that you notice that there are guards that like patrol this area of like central happenings within the city, this close to the Grand Bazaar and the markets and the Spice Mile and all this stuff. So you're kind of in the middle. You're in the bustling. And you hear people talk as the occasional person like absentmindedly drops like maybe a copper or so in the cup that you've provided. And you hear a couple of things. You notice that there are guards. You notice that the general vibe is people lauding success here. Like people are talking about either themselves or other people's esteem, as though like what they achieve equates to esteem and social elevation and that kind of stuff. So it seems like when you make something of yourself in this place, you get more goodwill, if that makes sense. You hear a few people mention something about some monasteries or like that kind of, they sound like they would be monasteries or teaching halls of some kind that have opened up in the area of the old diviners' dunes, which sounds to be like where like a lot of churches once were. Also on a 16, you notice that there are the occasional like group of children, like a couple or 4 to 5 maybe, like between 2 or 5 kids at any given time, kind of like running around. And what you find and what you see, what you notice is that the kids aren't doing it randomly. You're recognizing moves that are taught, to stories to beg people for money or trick people out of money. And you even see a couple kids like full on fleece a coin purse here or there during your time. You hear a couple people mentioning something about strange monsters attacking explorers in the desert. And more than once, like a musician wanders by or like takes up a little stand here in this time that you're here and kind of like does a quick little performance and like gets some coinage thrown at them before the guard come along and be like, all right, move along, move along. They don't like harass them so much, but they're just like, you don't have a permit, get out of here. Or this is not the place for that. And you hear people mention pashas and raja and merchant council, but you don't get a lot of details about those sorts of things. Yeah. And that's how you spend the time, however long you wish to spend, until it gets to about the point where you would need to begin to head back to make the dinner range.
Just for fun, and this might be a bit of a stretch, but
Yeah.
if I would hang on one second.
Meanwhile, does anyone else want to achieve anything during their time before dinner back at the inn?
Undra's probably just like walking around the area, seeing what is in the immediate surroundings, just as a general, like, getting her bearings, kind of.
Yeah.
She's not looking for a specific shop or anything. She's just kind of like
Yeah.
wandering the immediate area.
Yeah, there's a few like grocers and a few like taverns that are like that don't have rooms, and then there's a couple of like inns that look to be a little not quite as nice as the silver set, but like not bad, just a little shorter. Like the silver set has 4 floors, most of the other ones have 2. But yeah, that's kind of the immediate area. It seems like a very typical sort of, this is where you go when you're from out of town to like spend the night.
Are there a lot of like winding blind alleyways kind of thing, or is it just like, here's the main street and everything faces on it?
No, there are alleys between buildings. All the like main entryways are on the main street, but you can assume that there's probably like side doors or back doors down these alleys. And you see like there's people milling about, like it's busy. So back to Corvus. Corvus, what is it you wanted to try before you head back?
Yeah, this could be just happenstance. But giving myself just a little bit of time before I head back. If I happen to spy one of those kids about, I would like to maybe try to follow them just to see where they go. I'm curious what the, sort of, if there is an underworld in the city, what it comprises of. And perhaps Corvus is sort of reminded of his childhood.
Yeah, sure. You see the kids, so if you want to like follow one, you can. Make a survival check.
I'll be stealthy old man mode.
Great. Make a stealth check as well.
Okay, one sec.
Yeah, you easily, with a 19 survival and a 27 stealth, easily follow this group of like 3 kids down some alleys and backaways. And you're getting a bit far from where you were, but they have no clue that you're there, and they're laughing. You saw one of them snag a coin purse.
That's what I was hoping I'd see.
Yeah, so you follow them, and they find their way to what looks to be a storm drain, which is weird because there's not like this is a desert climb, but so maybe when it rains, it like you and I know that like when it rains in a desert, there's like severe risk of flash floods, but I don't know if Corvus would necessarily know that. But they seem to go to what looks like a storm drain, and it's just a small little like arch in the side of a building, kind of off on one side. And they seem to just like grab 2 of the bars and push them to the side, and it seems like the bars like track to the side, and they slip into the hole and then pull them close behind it and scamper down into that hole, off into wherever that place goes.
That's good enough for Corvus for now.
Yeah.
Probably time to get back for dinner.
Sure. The 6 of you reconvene at a table in the silver set for an evening meal, which is happily provided by slumbering beneath smoke and Jamie. Jamie is very attentive to Lunine and is constantly asking, Is there anything else I can get? So please, I would be very happy to get you whatever you require. If you want anything special or fancy or specific, I'm happy to see what I can arrange for you.
I'll just maybe take another glass of wine.
Absolutely, sir, absolutely. And he rushes off and fetches you another glass of wine. The meal is very nice. It's heavy on vegetables, but there is like meat as well. It's kind of like a goulash stew as the main, with like a flat bread that you like dip into, and then like a grain sort of that's like a chilled grain salad, kind of in a way. Renata, you are very familiar with this style of food and cooking.
Bird food. I'm digging it.
Yeah. It's very sort of like, in our world, you'd equate it to like Moroccan or maybe Greek or Turkish, kind of that kind of vibe. So there are like some stuff wrapped with like, there's like a really spiced mince of like lamb and rice and maybe something else that's like heavily spiced and very hot, that's rolled in like a very cool like grape leaf of some kind. And then the dessert is a like extremely sweet honey coated something that is like a pastry that's just like dripping with a sweet goo, honey just dripping down the sides, and it's filled with nuts and berries.
Sticky.
Yep.
I could go for one of those. Like right now, right here.
No. Way too sugary, it sounds like.
Yeah. The meal was very, very spiced, and the dessert kind of like helps cool it down.
There's a balance.
Yeah. But so that's your meal. Are you discussing anything while you are served this tasty tavern meal?
Well, Renata, you're the native. What else is there in this land?
Like
Seems-
what? Entertainment or shopping?
Anything.
Or
It seems bereft of most things except for sand and people.
Why are we here?
didn't we all vote on this? Did we not have two options? It was either this place or the other place.
I mean, forgive me, I was a
We,
little bit distracted on the journey here, but now that we're here,
You were, and by the way, what is up with that?
We were
Your
here.
relationship with your brother.
he's my brother.
Yeah, he seemed really nice.
Oh yeah, he said you're
You
supposed
seem standoffish.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah, he was my big brother, and like he used to like pull my hair and like stuff like that when I was a kid. So you know.
Insight check.
Make an insight check. Andre, go ahead. Make either a perception persuasion or deception of your choice. Don't tell us which one you're rolling. Just roll a d20 and add the appropriate modifier.
Gotcha. +5, so 11.
Are you being truthful?
I am, in fact. He was my big brother who used to, steal my dolls and pull my hair.
Renata, she seems to be on the level.
I mean, look, I never had any siblings, but
Oh, I had a lot of
that. How many?
5, 4, 4. I guess I was number 5. But, I was the little kid and they used to beat up on me when I was little.
Okay, so you're the baby of the group, but wasn't that years ago? Having you guys all grown up, matured?
I mean, kinda, but it's not like I haven't seen him since then. I've been away at school.
Right. Which you told him that you were, what was it? Studying overseas? Studying abroad?
Yeah.
Can I? I'm trying to remember. Has Andra ever told us a bit of her school history? I know you mentioned it a little bit to Renata. I'm trying to remember if you
I
said
think
anything
it's-
specific as to like why you left. I remember there being like a teacher.
Corvus had a
upset with you.
conversation about that, and I think you told Corvus so much as that you left school but never gave him a reason. So
Yeah. I think Andra would be very forthcoming with the fact that, she used to go to school and she left school. And, like, not really anything behind that, just, I used to go to school and now I don't.
But why?
I didn't think I had much left to learn there.
Oh, I have it. I have the notes. Okay. She mentions leaving her school because of altercations with the teacher. You did tell me.
Maybe I did.
Okay. I
whoa,
don't think you told anyone else. So when I press you again and you say, "Oh, I just left," I know you're lying.
I didn't feel
I
like I
gave
had
you the
much
look,
left.
Andra. I give you the look. All right. I
didn't
cocked
think
my eyebrow. Just the
I didn't
one.
get along. I didn't get along with the teachers. I didn't think I was learning anything from them. I'm trying to, get out and learn other things. So far, most of what I've learned is jungles suck.
is this where the book came from? You trying to learn
No.
about this book of yours?
No, the book came from Cash.
Book came from Cash. I think maybe Corvus did know that. Did Corvus know that? I don't know. I know Matt knew that, but I don't know if Corvus did. Interesting.
Well,
The book came from...
Take it you don't get along with your family back home then. Your brother seemed quite surprised that you weren't still at school.
You know how big siblings are. They think you're always a little kid.
seems like they have some sort of goal for you to contribute to the family business.
Of course they do.
I can understand
you-
that.
But you don't want to.
Certainly not right now. I mean, maybe when I've had my adventures and seen a bit of the world, maybe I'll go home. But they seem to be doing just fine without me for the time being.
What do they expect you to do for the business? How does going to a presumably high-ranking wizard school accomplish for your very business-oriented family?
Oh, I mean, there's lots of things that you can. I'm sure Selenar knows some of these magics about plants and growing, and mathematical business things.
Just sidebar, this sounds like any time I was with one of my older cousins and someone asked me a question that I didn't know, I'd be like, oh, I mean, everyone knows that, but Josh will explain it better than me.
It's it's a lumber business. So, I was sent to learn how to, farm, but better.
Druidcraft, wizard style? That's what it
Sort
sounds
of.
like.
Sort of. I mean, I don't have the genetics to be a druid, or not the genetics, but I don't have the background to be a druid. I study in school. This is what I was sent to do, is to learn I don't have any kind of like connection to a deity
I get
or
it. I get it. It
or
doesn't.
anything like that.
Magic
It's a different
doesn't
kind
come.
of magic.
Doesn't come natural. I understand. I don't have it either. I don't know if I could learn it from reading a book, so you're one up on me there. But yeah, I can pick up what you're putting down.
I wouldn't say you weren't
She
magical.
bullshitting. Ozo wants an insight check. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's sure you're
You
motive
just-
of the family.
Wiggle up to the table.
So, Ozo, you don't get that she is necessarily lying about her relationship with her family or why she was sent, but it seems like she's not being as truthful as to what she was actually doing in school. It seems like she's covering herself on what she thinks an appropriate answer would be.
Cool. I won't say anything yet.
I can certainly
someone
appreciate
left
not
the
wanting
window
to be
open.
part of the family business. But wizard school, that sounds interesting.
I mean, it's not like I went to wizard school not knowing anything. Like, I had learned a little like childhood household magics beforehand, so I had shown an aptitude for it.
Sure. Who is the
And,
wizard who ran that school?
He's a
I
frog.
understand it's of some... He's a fraud? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, he's a frog. Frog.
Oh,
like,
a frog, not a fraud.
I like
no.
fraud better.
No,
More scandalous.
no, he's a frog. Like ribbit.
But if he was a
Like, you know,
fraud,
Have I heard of this frog wizard before? There's probably unlikely, but
No, you have not.
interesting. Perhaps someday you can introduce me. I'd love to meet him.
Maybe if we encounter him. Like
I heard
was
you
telling my
mention that
brother,
the tower moves,
yes.
so you wouldn't
That
even
is-
know where to find him if you wanted to.
That is. I mean, that is accurate. I mean, I have some possible ways to get into contact with people who could tell me. I mean, it's not like they don't know who I am. But
Well, if it's ever convenient and we're nearby,
I
frog
will.
wizard.
I will be pleased to introduce you.
I assume that's a complete lie out of character.
I mean, she's just being polite, really.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually think we're going to run into. As far as she's concerned, it's just that's over there. That's a future problem. Not going to happen. Sure, I'm happy to do. Happy to introduce you to someone that I don't think we're ever going to run into.
As he walks into the bar.
Yeah.
Cool.
Totally lost my train of thought.
That's what Chris
is there
has
an
to do to
awkward-
you.
Is that what happened? Oh yeah, sorry, I am still staring at this.
Sorry,
very
world.
dreamy.
You don't get to see our Discord chat.
Get out of here, Valentina.
Yeah,
This is for me.
inside joke. Sorry. Going back to your question, Lunine, I guess you could check out Marble Rising. That's where all the bougie people are.
Corvus snorts.
You'll fit right in.
I think he fits in quite nicely here.
Jared, would I know anything about what's inside Marble Rising?
Oh, sure.
Casinos, do they have
Sure. Everybody knows, like, it is like where the wealthier merchant class lives. And it's got all the usual stuff that like fancy people like, fancy restaurants and exclusive clubs and experiences and entertainment. It's also where the Raja's palace is being built. It's been under construction for quite some time, but supposedly the Raja still lives there. And the Pashas live in that area. Presumably the entirety of the Merchant Council does as well. So pretty much if it's got anything that like rich people would like, that's where it would be.
So I do mention that too. You know, they got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And by the way, Lunane, I'm sorry I didn't respond to your message earlier, but I had to make a quick dash to see my old childhood home. Still standing, if anyone's wondering, as I slurp down my goulash.
Ah. How was it?
Well,
It's definitely seen better days, but
Is your family still there?
no, my mom passed away,
Oh,
and it was just her and I. So
I see.
No,
Yeah,
you told
the place-
me.
place is empty.
So you weren't expecting to see family there. You were just going to the.
No, it was just more for seeing the structure.
Did you leave stuff behind that you wanted to go pick up, or?
No, everything's gone in that place. It's been ransacked and graffitied and, you know, broken into, and animals have made a home out of it. I'm sure people have made a home out of it. Not the most livable place, but just so you're aware and not worried about my whereabouts, I'll probably spend the night there.
Oh, so you're not staying with us here?
No.
Do you really think that's a good idea?
Didn't we get you a room? Or is that... Was...
Lunine offered me to stay with him.
I thought it was part of your if
What?
you performed, you would get a room.
That's correct.
That's right, yeah.
I mean,
Is there
the
currently like
offer
music
still
or anything
stands.
in this bar?
Is what?
Somebody's
So
playing
what was that?
tonight. We
Is-
have... Oh, go ahead.
I was asking if there's like music or anything currently going on in this bar. Like, is there any kind of entertainment happening?
Not at the moment. It seems like you're having a meal and there's a few other guests also having a meal.
If there is a lull, Corvus will look up at Renata and say, "So what are we doing here?"
Seriously, guys, I thought we all voted on this.
We did, but I know you had a change of heart at the last minute. Was there something you were looking forward to returning home, other than your previous resident?
Man, it's like you guys keep forgetting. I told you I had a change of heart because I thought perhaps what I needed to elevate my music is a return home to get to who I am.
So how are you going to do that, and how does that involve us?
It doesn't quite involve you. You're not that special. It's gonna
So
start with a stay at my old childhood home, and we'll just take it from there.
If you don't mind me saying, you sound a lot like whenever we ask Andra a question.
What?
We
I
are
honestly
all-
don't know if
As
you
I
just...
slip down a little more goulash really quickly now. burning my tongue. No, I don't know what to talk about.
I don't know. We seem to have no direction, which is fine. I'm sure we're all happy to explore. So if there's anything else that's cool to see in this place,
Man,
open to
let me tell you
suggestions.
something. No one here has direction. We're all wandering souls. We're all dancing with the devil on our way to heaven.
That does sound pretty interesting, though.
That will make a good line in the song. Excuse me just a moment. And like Renata will like take out his notebook and like start writing it down. It's like, damn, that was really
So-
good.
In the meantime, while you're figuring all this out, I guess we'll just wait for you. Because it sounds like you don't want our help. I happen to overhear there seems to be some strange going-ons in the desert outside, something along the lines of weird monsters attacking adventurers and stuff. Is it particularly dangerous out there?
I'm sorry.
Just sound like
in this
something.
town, in this city, you mean, or
No, I mean in the wilderness
outside.
outside.
not as dangerous as any other place?
We're not going back in the wilderness, are we?
I'm not particularly anxious to do so, but I'm just looking for something to do. Maybe make some coin. I don't know if anyone's. I don't know. Maybe I look for leads if there's some monsters outside the city that need to be taken care of, or at least more information gathered about them. That could be an activity. I'm trying to think of something that would involve the group because I'm not sure anyone wants to follow me around all day, as my usual city activities are not.
Well, we did originally come
adventure
together
type.
on a job from Cash. Do you have a way to contact him? Do they have
It's
a office
funny
in the
you
city?
It's no, it's funny you should say that. They don't yet have an office in this city. However, I am working on
Looking to
gathering some
franchise.
intel on how to establish a branch, so to speak. If anyone is interested in doing that, I do plan on contacting Cash at some point. He doesn't have any work for me per se, but if anything shows up, I'm happy to share. Cash trusts us all at this point after our job in Cliffside, so yeah. We could make a little coin perhaps. I just need to, do it through the proper channels. Showing up in someone else's turf, we don't want to have the same result we did in Cliffside, starting some sort of minor conflict with the local.
It certainly wasn't comfortable.
And I'll endeavor not to get us in anything like that again. I might poke around a bit in this town. Again, you're happy to tag along anyone that thinks they can be at least somewhat stealthy. It's a lot of watching, so some people with patience.
I mean, I'm certainly interested in going uptown to Marble Rising tomorrow, and there seemed to be a big palace we could see from the sea.
Sure. Yeah, I could also
a
go
little
to that part of
sightseeing.
town. I'm sure there's plenty to see and do and take, perhaps, from that part of town. But yeah, I'll do some more investigating on that tomorrow. Do you know when your brother leaves, Sandra? Did he tell you?
He did not share that information with me.
It seems like he didn't share that information with anyone. He went off apparently with the pirate that joined us on the voyage to do some introductions in town. Was it the first mate I was talking to back at the ship, or the
No, that was the captain.
bosun? Oh, it was the captain. Sorry. Yeah, the captain didn't seem to know their whereabouts either. Anyway,
Well,
just curious.
I guess the captain doesn't know they're not leaving today.
Presumably not. I wouldn't mind speaking to the Stormswell. Well, that's all I've got for now, unless, it felt like Cliffside was my journey. going to that island far away from here was Levines, and now we're in Hessian. So, unless the famous Renata Soul Angel of Hessian has any ideas, I guess I'll carry on doing the things I do when I'm in town.
I mean, the
I
whole
mean-
reason we came here was to find information, direction, where to go next.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Literally
there's
why
like
we
a
came.
maybe there's like a bulletin board or something in town with job notices that.
I must admit that is not a bad idea. And when we finish dinner, I probably will speak to is it bartender and inn owner wrapped in one, or is there enough people here that it's like a split thing? The woman that we met first, is she like the one who would also be like at the bar serving drinks?
Looking over at the bar, you see that Slumbering Beneath Smoke is not at the bar. There is a young woman there, but it's not Slumbering Beneath Smoke.
I see. Yeah, well, I do find sometimes that bartenders tend to hold a lot of information about places.
Before you stand up and walk over the bartender, I will say, because I'm sensing like a note of disappointment in Madinat and Hessian. And I would say, Renata will say, "No, I'm sorry, guys, but this place is not exciting. It's a soul suck. It's not a place to look for adventure. So I don't know. He
Yeah,
kind of
it's a
like
place.
just trails off a little bit and just says, you won't find anything here."
Sounds like
Not
it's a
for you
place
guys.
to find yourself and work on your craft, however. So I'll do that. I've got a craft and plenty of places here to use it, it seems. Corvus walks to the bar.
And around this time, you're finishing up your various last bits of meal, your drinks, and Jamie comes around and like clears the table, and then Slumbering Beneath Smoke comes around. Good evening, my friends. Mr. Soul Angel. It would be appropriate now that the main meal has happened and we're moving into the drinking part of the evening, if you would care to take the stage, and we'll get you all set up. I have spread word, and many people are very interested to hear you perform.
Well, you shouldn't have.
Oh, well, when a performer comes in and agrees to perform for a free room, it is, sort of on me to make sure that enough people come in to make it worthwhile.
Yes, but really you should let the music speak for itself.
That's your job. My job is to get people in here to hear it.
Touche. Right. Just point me to the stage and I'll set myself up.
Right over there. And there's a little dais kind of in the middle of the room.
Great. Now, at this point, are people walking in to like...
Yeah, like they're like you're all here, there's other guests here, and there's some people who like just came in for dinner, and there's people like trickling in or leaving. It's not like
Is it...
slammed, but it's it's like the doors are open.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'll head over to my stage and I'll do a quick scan of the room. Do I see anyone I recognize?
Make a perception check. Nope.
11.
On an 11, you don't see anyone you recognize.
Great. I'll take out my guitar. And as I'm tuning, I guess that's when you can cut back to Corvus and a bartender if you like.
Yeah.
Not so fast.
Corvus was very adamant about finding purpose in this town.
Ba-da-ba.
Yeah, so you're busy tuning, and it seems like people are like chatting, and like a few people are interested in like hearing, and there's some muttering going around. Corvus, you walk up to the bar, and there's this young woman there. Like, oh, Salan, good evening, sir. What can I get for you from the bar today?
I'll take an ale if you've got it. Thank you.
Of course, of course. That'll be 3 copper, sir.
I'll fish out the 3 copper. You know what? I got a question for you, Jared. There's something that just struck my fancy on my way to the bar. Between me and the bar, was anyone looking at me, perhaps?
Like people saw you, but nobody was like staring at you.
Nah, too risky. Okay. Yeah, 3 copper it is. And I'll pull that out. Say, says Corvus, I was in the market today and I heard someone chatting. Seems there's some rumors of strange creatures outside the city. Does this sound like something you've heard?
Oh yes, I have heard of this. It is very scary. Quite a few people have been accosted by strange creatures traveling between the ports and the oasis. It's been quite harrowing tales, apparently. Actually, I believe someone is here who has experienced this firsthand. Yes. And she points over to a sort of like brown furred feline that's got like a few like white stripes and like a little cute like button nose, and is wearing glasses over his eyes there. That's got it in the bag over there, and he was on a caravan to from Port Dwali when there was a raid, and he attacked, or he survived the attack, I should say.
So there was a raid, you say?
Yes, on his caravan that he was a part of.
This is an organized attack, is what it sounds like.
Oh, that I cannot say.
I'll go speak to him. Thank you. What was your name?
Oh, Denise.
Denise. Thank you, Denise. Yeah, I'll walk over to got it in the bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems like, he's maybe like 40-ish or so. He's just kind of there, like finishing up his dessert and kind of like wiping his mouth with a napkin.
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to catch you mid-bite. I was asking, I'd heard some nasty rumors about people being attacked outside the city, and Denise here mentioned that you had just recently survived an attack. Is that true?
Oh, yes, it is. It is true. Some weeks back, actually, but it was quite scary.
What can you tell me about this? I'm very curious. I'm meant to travel, next week to the Oasis north of here. I'm a tourist. Where was the Oasis? I'm sorry, I just made up the cardinal direction.
Oh well, there are a few small oases between the ports, but some people have been wanting to scout out the Akir Oasis, which is in the Hassa Desert to the east. People have debated going through the mountain ranges, but I think it wiser to follow the longer route around the coast so you can not face the desert heat for so long.
That's a very good tip. Thank you.
Oh, yes, of course. It is well known that one must always keep the sun as one's friend and not as one's enemy, because it doesn't care one way or the other.
Sorry, trying to type and think at the same time. Yes, I suppose the clothing here helps with the heat a bit. I've got myself some today from the market. It's very, very lovely.
Yes.
But so if I were to travel, it sounds like it's a bit dangerous to go out, or is this sort of an infrequent thing, this attack?
Well, caravans often hire guards anyway, but these black and red raiders are different. They come out in armor with black, and the armor is black and red, and it's very, very interesting. Well, it's scary is what it is. It's very intimidating, I suppose. Not interesting is not the right word. But they also have monsters with them. Monsters that come out in the night. Monsters with teeth and claws and just attack ravagely. It's a coordinated effort for sure. But it is... Well, the only correct word is terrifying. But that... In my mind, I think that's the point of it. It's to intimidate people. They do steal, of course. They make off with various goods or various, foodstuffs and that sort of thing, but they have yet to actually kidnap a person. Certainly there have been injuries and more than a few deaths as well. But...
Do you think their intents are to kill? Their intention is to kill, or just to, like you said, intimidate and...
I think intimidation is their main goal. I have heard that the earlier caravans before guards were as numerous as they are. Nobody has... those earlier caravans, nobody was particularly killed. Maybe a few people were harmed as a show of force, but it's only when the caravan guards started making a proper stance and being a force to be reckoned with in comparative to whatever raiding party comes that deaths started occurring. It was an escalation thing.
You see.
Not that I'm excusing it, of course. It's very bad to, murder is not okay.
No, certainly not. It's very interesting. I don't know any idea what they're after. What is their goal? Just to...
Well, that I couldn't say.
Explain. Interesting.
They came upon my caravan with swords and bows. Very nice bows, to be honest with you. And monsters out of the shadows with tooth and claw tearing at tents and causing chaos and the dousing of fires.
How did you survive?
Well, as I said, they did not seem to actively want to kill anyone. I was in...
Let you escape.
Well, no, I was in my tent and caught up in it when the ropes were slashed, and as I eventually found my way from underneath of it, they had taken the caravan and would rounded up people, and they rounded me up, took what they wanted, and then they were gone. They killed 3 of the guards and one unfortunate heroic individual, I think, and made off with their loot, as it were.
Interesting. I'm not sure. I've got the gall for it myself, but it sounds like one could make some cash if they wanted to be a sort of guard for hire for these caravans, huh?
Oh yes, there's always a market for such people. Of course, the Merchant Council has also offered a bounty on these individuals. They are causing much havoc.
You don't say. Huh.
Yes.
What's the Merchant Council, and where are they located?
Oh, well, the Merchant Council is the governing body of Madinat, of course. They elect the Raja, and then the Raja kind of oversees as the head of the council, with these 6 advisors, the Pashas. They, of course, are in the marble seat of Marble Rising, or the Pearl seat of Marble Rising, I should say. Apparently they are offering many thousands of gold for the capture or destruction of these ruffians.
I see. Well, I should, if I venture out of the city, I should make sure I'm with a guarded group, is what you're telling me. You mentioned the Akira Oasis. Is that a particularly beautiful one to see if I were to, get out and
Oh, well,
one of these lights?
the Akira Oasis is fabled to be a beautiful location in the middle of the desert, surrounded by a glistening pool of the sweetest water one can find. I have never been there. It's quite a trek out to the desert. But supposedly it is the last one that anyone has found in the Hassa Desert,
The last oasis?
as far as I'm aware.
Oh, interesting. I've maybe been misinformed. I thought there was several out here to see. Well,
There are some smaller ones between here and Port Kazim and Port Dwali, but they are much smaller, and they suffice. They work. They're good for a good place to rest or to re-up on some fresh water. But the Akira Oasis is sort of to the southeast of Port Dwali, deep into the beginnings of the Hassa Desert, and very few people have ventured that way, and let alone returned.
oh my, says Corvus. Well, perhaps I should stick to the smaller ones then. Well, thank you for your time. I was just sort of curious about how dangerous it was outside of the city. Yeah, so I'll rethink my travel plans, perhaps.
Well, if you decide to go, make sure you travel with a caravan. It's very important.
If I were to do that, where would I go to speak with someone to let me know when a caravan is leaving, for instance?
Oh, well, there are usually a variety of ways. Sometimes you can find merchants in the merchant quarter at one of the bulletin boards have advertised, or perhaps there are many taverns where the local merchants frequent themselves, and usually information like that can be found there. There's no grand organizing to it, because each caravan is sponsored individually, of course.
I see. Well, thank you very much. What are you drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking the wine.
Denise, right, was the bartender?
Mhm.
Could I get their attention and order a wine for Got It in the Bag?
Yeah.
Every time.
Oh, and thank you for the drink, my friend.
How do you say, I don't know, cheers here?
Drink well, drink often.
Drink well, drink often, and I'll toast with my wine. With my ale.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can depart. Meanwhile, while Corvus is off having this discussion, Renata is tuning away. What are the other 4 of you up to at this moment? Anything in particular?
Just hanging out, killing time. When it looks like Renata is ready to start playing in earnest, I will put up the dancing lights for him.
I will quickly signal to Andra no lights. And just kind of wave my hand at her,
The dancing lights say, Renata, Soul Angel.
the one and only.
Now presenting.
Yeah. Everybody who's not Renata can make an insight check.
Okay.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I rolled not a 3.
Nice.
Woohoo.
Cool.
This is broken.
Selenar, Renata is like very out of character, and normally he's all about the show, and he like doesn't even seem to want to perform. This is very weird to you. Lunine, you get that he doesn't seem to want to do this, and that's weird, but you don't know why. Corvus and Ozo, or well, Corvus, he's definitely acting weird. Normally he's all about the showmanship. And Ozo, Renata's taking a long time to get the show started. Selenar, you also notice that as Renata is sort of like getting ready, he's taking his sweet ass time doing it and like constantly looking around the crowd and like tuning for a minute and then looking around again and then going back to tuning. Like, it's a delay tactic.
I sent him a message.
Get on with it.
You feeling okay?
I'm sorry, is this the one where I can message you back, or?
Yes, you can whisper and only I will hear it.
Yeah, Renata will whisper back. Yeah, if his message could emit like a high pitched like note, like voice is cracked. Like yeah, everything's cool. Just some sand got into this guitar, so taking a little while.
And that's where the message ends. Renata may keep speaking, but like that's just all the words that you get.
Right. We're out of
Just
words.
talking to himself now.
Yeah. Okay, but I guess I can only delay so much. So I will look up into the crowd and say, hello. I'm going to play a song now. Thank you. And I'm going to start playing a song. And I'm going to try to play it in a lower volume. Nothing crazy loud. Not even normal loud. Just a little more softly.
Okay. You go to begin playing, and you get ready, and you breathe in, and that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh, you bastard.
5 more minutes of torture.
Yes. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Taco Sanmashu. Thank you, I've Got It. And thank you to Tome Weaver Itoa, Tome Weaver Latoa, who gave us a follow 7 days ago. So thanks for that. So thank you all. We're going to take a quick short rest, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. So thank you all very much, and we'll see you in 5. Hello, everyone. We are back. Thanks for sticking with us as we took a little short rest. So we are in the silver set. People are coming in, getting ready to enjoy a performance by the advertised Renata Soul Angel. Corvus has done some investigating around, and Renata begins to play a quiet song. Renata, make a performance check for me. I know what your goal is. You want to play something quiet and not
super awesome. So I'm gonna play like the most.
Yeah. You still want a high roll. And let me tell you why. You want the high roll to do what you want to do. If you low roll, it won't be that you play bad. It just might mean something else happens.
Okay. So you said performance, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Like, I wouldn't use the roll to, like, hurt you.
13.
Okay. All right. With a 13, you begin this soft little song, playing very softly. And for the first few moments of it, people don't realize that you've been playing. And then people start going, hey, shut up, shh. And people begin to tune in. And a hush falls over the crowd as you begin playing beautifully. And you begin to get into it. And without really meaning to, you are playing. It goes from this low, kind of mournful, slow song. You build into this like power ballad. It's not like ruckus, but it's very much like Kiss from a Rose on the Grave. Like, where it's like, it starts with that little low thing, and then
That song.
and then there's a kiss from, there's just like that moment where you can't help but like, and the crowd like goes wild and starts like clapping. Starts off really small.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So like, you play a good song, but you get more attention out of it than you mean to. You get more into it than you had meant to, and you can't help yourself but be the performer that you are. And when you're done with the song, there is ruckus applause. Like, everybody's very intrigued, and there are like toasts and say, another, do it again. And so the crowd is enjoying themselves greatly. As you continue playing, everyone else go ahead and make perception checks. Okay, a couple of 10s across. Here we go. Selenar.
Damn, Selenar.
Selenar with a 24.
We have that one moment, and now he knows me.
Dirty 20.
Very nice.
Corvus too, I guess. And Lunine.
So, Corvus and Selenar, there doesn't appear to be any, like, craziness in the crowd. Like, everybody's, like, really enjoying themselves. You both notice that, like, people come in, people go out. It's very, like, you know, it's a bar. They're enjoying the show. Some people stay for a drink. Some people stay for longer.
Rolling.
And Lunine. So the three of you are, like, kind of watching the crowd to, like, see what the vibe is. Because you noticed earlier Renata kept, like, looking into the crowd. So you're trying to see if there's, like, a danger here that you are not aware of. So you're all just kind of trying to, like, get the vibe. And there doesn't seem to be anybody who's, like, actively trying to, like, hunt down Renata in here or anybody. The three of you do notice at some point in the course of the performance, a short, like, gnome kind of comes in. They've got, like, a shawl on to, like, keep them. It's starting to get dark outside, so that, like, desert chill is beginning to, like, creep in. But they kind of come in and, like, look around and then kind of, like, head over to the bar. and kind of get up on a stool and begin talking to Denise. Selenar, what you notice is you see that when this individual pulls down, you see it's definitely a female gnome, and you see that the hair has like different color in it. Like she doesn't quite take the shawl down, but like there's different color in it. It's like pinks and green and like whatever, and it's all just kind of like almost a crosshatch pattern of colors. Like this bit's one color, this bit's another color, and just kind of peeking out from underneath. And she says something to Denise, and you hear her say Renata, and Denise kind of looks confused at her and just kind of points over to Renata. You see the head turn, and then you see the head go back, order a drink, pay for it, leave a tip, and then you all see, after about 5 or 6 minutes, the drink is gone, and then the little gnome lady walks back out into the evening.
While they are drinking, Selenar approaches them.
Yeah. They don't...
Good evening.
That's it.
Yeah, I'd stand there and stare. No.
Yeah.
You just hover.
Good evening. I couldn't help but overhear you have some interest in our friend Renata on the stage.
Oh, yes. I did not know you are friends with this performer.
Yes, there's several of us together. May I ask your name? I'm Selenar.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. I've never met a full-blooded elf before. This is very interesting. I heard that this Renata was performing, and I thought I'd come check it out. And I guess that's him.
That is him. If at any point during this conversation Renata stops playing or is on a break, I just want to quickly message, do you know who this is that I'm talking to?
Yeah, she doesn't stay long, so it's only like it's like during a song that she's there.
Okay. When I asked her, I want to do an insight check to see if she had any ulterior motive to ask about Renata.
Go for it. Ooh, very nice. Very nice indeed. So it doesn't seem like she was lying. Like she was telling the truth when she said that she heard that that Renata was playing, and you do get the sense that there's more when she said, "And there he is." Like, she's not lying, but she's not... Like, there's more to it than that.
Okay. Do you know of him? I know he's originally from this city, but his past is a bit of a mystery to me.
Oh, I've heard the name before, yes.
Oh, interesting. From who?
Well, from many people. Is that not what performers want?
It is, but my understanding is he has not been home in some time. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that people know of him, though.
I'm sure every performer would.
Cool.
Yes, well, it has certainly been a pleasure getting to meet you, but alas, my cup is empty, and I have other things to do for my evening. The performance is wonderful, though. If you are indeed his friend, please pass along my my admiration for his skills.
I certainly will. May I ask your name? Did she already tell me?
She didn't. Oh, I'm just regular person off the street. I mean, does he keep all of his fans' names in a list?
Yes, actually.
Yes. All three of them.
Well, if it matters, you can tell him that Flout really appreciated his music this evening.
I'll be sure to pass along the compliment. Thank you for the time.
Of course, and it was a pleasure and an honor to meet you. And she hops off the stool and just kind of like walks out, does one quick glance over at the stage one last time, and then is out the door.
Matt wants to do something.
Corvus would like to Corvus.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Want to Taylor.
You don't get the conversation, and you don't get all the stuff that like Selenar got. You see her come in, order a drink, and then talk to Selenar, and then you see her leave.
I heard the name Renata, though, no?
No, only Selenar heard that, because he rolled higher than you.
That I'm aware of, but I thought I was in the group of names that heard it.
No, I said, Selenar, what you get is you hear her say the name Renata.
That's fine, that's fine.
You are in the group that saw this person enter.
I'll go with Selenar then once she leaves and say, what was that about?
Apparently just a fan. Name of
Fan.
Flout.
A fan that knew Renata?
Fan that knew Renata.
Didn't he seem a little weird when we mentioned that name when we got to this place originally?
I believe you're correct.
All right,
There's clearly something bothering him.
I'll see you later.
We did go
finish
to
your sentence, sorry.
We did go to his childhood home today, which was a disaster. Clearly been ransacked in complete disrepair.
Is that typical of the neighborhood?
Ish, but it did seem worse than the buildings around.
Interesting. Anything that else that stood out, or just it seemed in a bad
Did
way?
I see the traitor thing? I must have, because he was staring at it for like a week.
Yeah, safe to say you noticed it after he did.
Just trails
He seemed bothered by a piece of graffiti on an inside wall that said traitor, but I didn't press him very hard.
Cool.
Certainly worth investigating, though.
Spoot. I just said Spoot. Corvus is gonna go follow the gnome.
Okay. Make you hop outside, which you step outside, it's cooler than it was during the day, like now that the sun has set. And outside, like the different inns and taverns that are around all have like these beautiful colored lights out in front, either like lanterns or maybe there's some magic in them, maybe little things, but it is beautiful out there. It's like Golden Guy or like one of those like Japanese or Thailand when they have like the colored lanterns out, and it's beautiful, and there's people like moving and coming, and you hear people calling and naming. So go ahead, make a survival check to find her trail.
Oh boy. Damn it.
You look around, and there's a lot of people of different heights here. People walking through the sand. You don't know what her boots were like. You try to find a lead, and unfortunately a 6 does not help you too much in this sense in finding her.
Actually, at all.
Yeah, she seems to have disappeared into the night.
Corvus lights a cigarette, takes a drag, puts it out on the side of the tavern, flicks it into the street, and goes back inside.
So dramatic.
Before you enter into the street, you get called out by a gentleman in like a breastplate and like kind of like big pantaloons with a halberd. You there! No littering!
Yes.
Seems like he's a guard.
It's compostable, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't ask if it was, did I?
No, fair enough. Do you have a bin?
They should have it in the establishment.
Fair enough. Corvus picks up the...
This is not the dust barrows. Please treat it with respect, as any outsider should respect the laws of the country they are in.
Sure. They posted somewhere?
Yes. At the docks when you enter. Were you not paying attention?
I was asleep. Sorry.
Hmm.
Can I go back inside?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for that sign tomorrow.
Yeah.
If it's not there, I'm gonna report it to the council, the merchant guild.
Yeah.
Corvus doesn't like law enforcement, sorry.
No,
Play
that's
guard
right.
all you want, though. This will make for some great banter every time we go to a city.
No, you're fine.
Find some way. I'm gonna commit a misdemeanor in every place we visit now. It's now canon, along with Corvus smoking, apparently. All right, I'll go back
Does he have a
inside.
dark fedora in this particular costume?
yeah, that should actually. Every place he goes, his mask changes slightly.
New hat.
Yeah,
Weren't you
do just
wearing,
talk to yourself? Like, do you talk to yourself dramatically? Like,
So Corvus re-enters the establishment. Renata is up there performing.
It's interesting that all that happens. Yeah, so Corvus doesn't immediately go back to Selenar, just in case there was anyone else in here that was interested in Renata. And I'm gonna pick a new corner of the bar and pull my fedora down and like watch to see the rest of the performance.
Yeah, the people are into it. And you notice, like, over the course of the performance, Renata's gotten more into it, too. It's like he can't resist. He can't help himself.
can't help myself.
Bard's gonna
We
bard.
have this much talent, you know. You
Yeah, you're very good. Like, definitely there are people watching him. Most people are clapping along and very excited. And the hubbub, when he plays quietly, like, they quiet down. When he plays loudly, there's all that, like, energy. And it's a very normal sort of crowd. There's no one else who kind of, like, pops out as any sort of, like, danger. There's nobody, like, eyeing Renata and not enjoying it.
Gotcha.
Selenar actually approaches Corvus after a while. You mentioned that Renata was nervous about his name here? What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But I'll tell you this: as someone who has used a few aliases in his day, it didn't seem like he wanted to lead with "Hi, I'm Renata Soul Angel," guitar strum, like he does everywhere else. You catch what
You
I'm
think
putting
that
down?
might be an alias? This
Someone
has
knew.
not occurred to Selenar at all until now, so
Someone knew the name Renata, and I don't know if it was it was a Silver Set's owner person.
Slumbering beneath smoke.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Slumbering beneath smoke. I don't know if it was the same person slumbering beneath smoke.
Yeah, when Renata's name was given to her, she did, like, raise an eyebrow and just sort of, like, accepted it.
I might be pushing it a little bit with me picking up that and therefore Corvus picking it up, but
No, like, she didn't try to hide that.
yeah, it didn't sound like it was like subtle.
But, like, people also use fake names at inns all the time, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing inherently to be called something else, and perhaps there is coincidentally another Renata Soul Angel. even from Hessian. But
Well, his hesitance to play under that name.
yeah, he normally doesn't
Maybe he's
mind.
afraid
Like
someone would recognize him.
exactly. I tried to trail this gnome, but I don't know the city, and apparently she does. She was gone by the time I got outside, without a trace. But good for you for picking up on that. I don't know if it means anything, but Trout? What was the name
Flout.
they gave you?
Flout.
Flout. Yeah, guess we can ask Mr. Soul Angel himself if that name rings a bell. Listen, I don't mean to raise suspicions without cause. I am I'm naturally a bit paranoid. And
Message to Renata, mid-conversation. Are you known by another name in this city?
like mid-song, he's like still
Yeah,
septic.
I'm like
That's
rocking out
fine.
now. I'm like so into it.
And then Selenar's mind is just like, have you been lying to me this whole time, bro?
Does
But
anything
he's not
change?
he's not being accusatory. It's just, I will wait when you're between songs, but just like, could you be known by another name in this city?
When Selenar does that, is there something that changes on him that might denote that he's like, I don't know, mentally doing a thing for a second that isn't listening to whatever I'm saying?
There are.
Absolutely holding a cup of water.
I think message. Does message have somatic components?
I thought it was verbal only. I
You
don't
have
know.
to point at the person you're talking
Presumably
to.
he whispers something.
Somatic and material.
It is material.
Yeah,
Yeah.
point at well, I don't need the
Like-
material as long as I have my druidic focus.
Yeah.
You just
Right.
hold your stick in the air and you're like,
Well, I always have it.
You
Yeah.
have to point. You have to point at him.
yeah, you have to point
you
at him.
Point toward a creature and whisper a message. The target
do
and
have to
only the
point.
target hears
Yeah.
the message.
Yeah. So definitely he like you see Selenar quickly like point over to Renata. Renata, you get the message. Do you respond?
Corvus looks at Renata, looks back.
You're between
Wow.
songs, by the way, and I'm
So at this point, Jared, I'm back into my groove, right? Like I'm playing music like I'm used to playing music.
not anymore.
Yeah. You feel confident, and then you get this message in between songs.
I didn't mean now, says Corvus.
Renata's going through a lot right now. He's trying to juggle a lot of things. In fact, he's starting to see everyone as spinning plates on sticks. And he's thinking, yeah, I can manage all of this. I can still juggle this and nothing will fall and nothing will break and I'll get out of this with my reputation still intact. So he sees Selenar point at him and be like, hey, do you go by a different name? And I'll just say,
I don't know if there's tone in message, but it's not like I'm not like accusing you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's whatever you want it to be.
I really
Yeah.
want it to be like a text message, so
But
it
you know
is
what?
devoid
No,
of any
because-
No.
but that's the
intonation.
thing, you put feeling into the text message, right? Like you,
Yeah.
You just
Like,
interpret
wow.
it.
In the lines, whatever you want, and there could be a little panic.
A little.
Renata being lost in the music and still thinking that he can manage this life that he has chosen for himself will just look up to Selenar and with a most Renata wink of his eye say, I'm just the one and only. And I go into the next song.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Well, that is insight checkable if I've ever seen it, but I'm gonna fail, and I don't care.
The only one who could do this insight check is Selenar because it's
Well,
telepathic.
I rolled another 3. I'm back to
Well,
the
did I
3.
see him point at him? And didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, did he not say that out loud? He
Respond.
whispered it back. I'm so sorry. I thought for some reason he said it out loud to the crowd and then played the song.
Oh no, I mean it's a whisper. Yeah, it's a whisper.
Yeah, it's part of the
I
spell.
just see like the physical wink of my eye.
I
Yeah.
mean, the way you phrased it wasn't exactly
Subtle?
confidence inspiring anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, hard to read on that one.
Yeah.
Because it was an answer, but it was a non-answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I just turn to Corvus and say, I think he's in character right now. We'll have to ask him tomorrow.
Good idea. Good idea. He is playing well. We should leave him alone. Don't tell him I said that. And we'll wait out the concert.
Yeah.
Normally Selenar leaves early. He doesn't this time.
Yeah. About 3 or 4 hours go by, and Renata's time on the stage comes to an end. Slumbers Beneath Smoke comes up and is like, "Oh, Mr. Soul Angel, that was beautiful. Well done. A little worried at first, but once you got going, you really went hard on it. Here's the key to room 12. Enjoy."
Thank you. I'll pocket the key.
Yes. "For as many evenings as you perform like that here, you shall have a bed."
Thank you.
Of course. And then she goes back to, like, she's working the crowd, like being like, "Oh, wasn't that great?" And like encouraging others to have a drink spot.
Yeah. How is the crowd's reception towards me now? Like,
They dig it. They're into it. They like it.
dig it?
Yeah.
I'm not noticing any sort of, let us say, recognition of these songs.
Well, were you performing Hessian songs?
Yep.
Then yeah, if you were performing Hessian songs, people recognize the music.
Okay.
Like, if you play, like, golden oldies, people are going to recognize them as what they are.
Yeah, there's a couple Goldie oldies in there, but
And you definitely know, like, what to play. Yeah.
Other bands, other acts.
Well, like, you know what to play in these sorts of taverns to, like, get the crowd into it, and that's what you were doing. So, yeah. Like, whether or not people, like, know who originated what song that's more difficult to know.
Okay. That puts me at ease a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you come back and join us after the thing?
I definitely head to the bar first for a couple of drinky drinks. Not sure if I get one on the house or not. Or
You do.
if people are, giving me free drinks.
Yeah, like, Denise hands you a mug of ale, like, no problem.
Right. I'm definitely working on the mug of ale. Yeah, I'm guessing I still see everyone seated where they were before.
We're probably waving at you, or at least Andra is like, "Yeah,
We know
good
him.
job."
We know him.
I kind of quickly
Man.
turn away from them, take a deep breath, like pull my hair back a little bit, kind of shake out those feelings I had earlier, and just tell myself that, everything is still okay. Turn around, face them, and I walk towards the table.
When he comes over, Corvus nudges Selenar. He's like, now you can talk to him.
I notice Selenar. I'll be like, Selenar, you stayed through the whole set.
Played well tonight.
I did all right. Thanks.
Yeah, man, that was great.
Thank you, Andra. I appreciate that. You're certainly my biggest fan in this little group of ours. What about you, Ozo? You've been so quiet.
I've just never been to such a new place. You played good.
Ozo, how long have you known each other now?
A few months, I guess.
How come we don't have an inside joke?
Oh. What does that mean?
Yeah.
That would require a sense of humor.
I have laughed at things, but what is an inside joke? Is it one that you
Something only
only
the
think
two of
about?
us laugh at, and no one else knows what's so funny about that.
Oh. Well, you tend to tell everyone when you think something's funny.
I do.
So I guess maybe that?
Nope, that's not it. We're gonna work on it. That's gonna be our side quest, Ozo.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the search for the inside joke. But thank you guys. I appreciate your support.
Did you play here a lot when you lived here?
Actually, that's a good question, Jared. Would I have played in this? Yeah, maybe a few times.
I mean, you've never played at the silver set, but you've definitely played in Madinat.
Cool. No. Honestly, first time rolling through here. I was never good enough to play here. I guess things change.
Clearly, you are now.
Yeah, they took a chance on me, and it worked out. It worked out really well. Nothing's wrong. Everything's great. And I take a slurp of my beer.
I'm sure this performance is after word's already getting out. Pretty soon there will be other bars clamoring to have Renata Soul Angel come play. I'm gonna look right at him when I say that.
You're fucking with him.
A place like this has a lot of musicians, singers, bards, interpretive dancers. A place like this really brings out one's creativity. So, I'm just one amongst many.
You thinking about changing stuff up? You
I
mixing up?
want
You want to
to.
do interpretive dance now?
I mean, look at me. Not a single dance lesson, and yet my body is a poetry of movement.
Andra's going to message Ozo, say, "This is an inside joke."
It very certainly does dance with that guitar well, and this is me trying to compliment you. So don't make it more awkward than it was. You had a fan here tonight, turns out. I think Selenar knows a thing or two about that. What did you say their name was, Selenar?
Flout.
Yeah, someone named Flout came in. Said they heard about you, wanted to come see you perform.
Well, Jared, I was leaning towards one particular person, but I think you only ever gave me their first name. So I don't know if Flout is their last name or was a made up name.
I am watching him too, by the way. I'm trying to see.
Renata does not know anyone by the name of Flout.
Over the din of noise, I'm like, Trout?
I'm going to sign it to him as I say it. Flout.
Loud? Yeah, it is.
Oh, God.
I mean, I've been around. I know a few gnomes, but not anyone named Trout or Loud.
Cool. Well, they were here for about a song, so probably not as big a fan as Andra is.
You seem to come in the bar, ask the slumbering over there if there was a Renata here. She pointed at you. Flout drank one drink. I talked to them. Seemed fine, and then they left. It's just a little unusual. That's when I asked you if you'd gone by any other name here. It seems there's some recognition of the name Renata.
Well, Jared, knowing my small list of people I know who are gnomes, does this give me any cause for alarm that I think this is who I think it is?
Well, all they've really said is it's a gnome. Like, assuming that they were described.
Renata doesn't, so...
Yeah. Assuming that Selenar described it, yeah, a gnome woman came in. She had colorful hair, which sometimes that's just what gnomes do. Sometimes it's natural, sometimes it's not. The gnomes you knew didn't really have like multicolored hair.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not to say they couldn't have dyed it.
I'll ask Corvus and Selenar. So you say they were female?
She was.
As far as we could
Great.
tell.
Would you say that she was the life of the party? Fun-loving? Goes with the flow?
I don't know. I didn't
Goes
actually.
with the flow, but it was a pretty short conversation.
Yeah, I don't think I know who she is.
Well, it's late. Perhaps this is a problem for the morrow.
Well, speaking of the morrow, I've been told that there are in fact monsters about. More specifically, a group of raiders call themselves the Red and Black, something like that. Been attacking some caravans outside the city. I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but along similar veins, I was told there might actually be a bulletin board somewhere that has some jobs posted if we find ourselves bored and want to look at that. It's in this Marble District, I think.
Oh, well, I mean, we can always use more coin.
Certainly want to check out the Marble District anyway.
Would I know anything about this, about these raiders, the Red and Black?
Nope, news to you.
More to that, actually. I don't know if this strokes anyone's sense of adventure, but this man also mentioned some fabled oasis. I don't know how to speak. Sort of east of here. A Kier oasis, I think?
How far east?
Wow, he said it was a bit of a journey. It's supposed to be beautiful, though. Surrounded by, and I think I'm quoting him when I say, the pool of sweetest water you can find.
This
Whatever
sounds
that
like a
means.
camping trip.
Could be. The advice he gave me was don't go through the mountains. You should hug the coast. Makes the journey a bit longer, but probably a good view. Just saying, if anyone got bored. Corvus says
like
as he
views.
eyes the bottom of his glass. You like what?
Views.
Yeah, I mean, I like cities too, but you know what? There was something about that last outing. Maybe I do have a bit of an itch to explore. Not a jungle, though, Andra, don't worry. Only deserts here.
I'm really looking forward to sleeping in a bed tonight.
Oh, we've got 3 nights for that.
All right, well, maybe we could take like some day trips.
Could do. But we should join a caravan, a guarded one at that, if we do, because apparently these raiders are,
Sure,
not
absolutely.
messing around. But anyway, that's all I learned
Safety
tonight.
in numbers.
Indeed. Safety in numbers. That is true. Corvus looks a little bit at Renata when he says that last part. Yeah, numbers are good. Anyway. I'm gonna get another ale, and he gets up and goes to the bar, but he's gonna slyly keep an eye on Renata.
Selenar retires when he finishes the whatever beverage he has.
Is it getting late in general, or
Mhm, yeah.
Andres is sort of like hanging out, nursing a drink, waiting for it to like get less busy, essentially, waiting for it to get late enough that people are going to bed and going home or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Like, the entertainment's over for the evening, and people are finishing beverages and leaving or going up to their rooms or whatever.
As it starts to get a little bit later, Andre's just going to say, I'm just going to go find the little adventurer's room and kind of step out for a moment.
Outside?
Yes, I don't believe we're in a land of indoor plumbing.
Oh no, sorry. I guess I was just making sure I understood.
I don't believe there's a great deal of indoor plumbing here in
Hard to
Hessian.
say.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
There is a privy inside.
Is it indoors or is it like in an alley?
You haven't gone yet.
Great. I will.
You think we're savages here? That's so racist.
Look, We've been living in a jungle for weeks, and we've been on boats, and it's been a while since we've been to a city, and not all the places around have had a great deal of technology.
Amenities.
So I'm just gonna sort of step away from the group and I'll ask the bartender or wherever he is.
Yeah, she points over down the hallway, and Denise points and you go over, and like there's two doors. One has and there's just two doors on there, and they both have like the symbol of restroom on there.
Great. Am I still in view of the main bar, or is it like down the hall somewhere?
It's like 5 feet down a hall.
Comes out of one of them and walks by you.
I will. Hey. I'm essentially I'm looking to slip out like into the alley or whatever, unnoticed by the party.
Okay, make a stealth check.
What am I no go? 12.
Okay.
Not that great.
Anyone who has a passive perception of 12 or higher sees Andra. She slips outside.
Is that all of us?
Yeah.
All of us. Like, we're like, where's Andra going?
Yeah, you all watch Andra just like... She does that thing where she like goes, she waves to Selenar, and then she like puts her back against the wall and then like sidles out the front door, very obviously to all of you.
I'm super stealthy, guys. Stealth is definitely
Corvus, you might have to teach her some tricks.
Listen, first night we met, I tried and she fell out of a tree, but there might be some hope yet.
That was true. That happened.
It did. It really did.
Admittedly, that was a rush job, and I didn't really give good instructions, so yeah.
I don't even think I made it to the tree.
I pretty much just said run, I think, and then I jumped out the window. So admittedly, that was on me.
So Andra sneaks out of the bar, quote unquote. What do you do outside?
I'm going for a walk. I'm walking around the neighborhood that I kind of glanced outside earlier. I'm looking for like an out of the way like alleyway that's not full of people coming out of a bar.
Yeah, easy enough to find.
I'm going to I want to duck into this alleyway. Is there like trash and things in this?
There's not a lot of trash, but like there's refuse.
I'm just going to try to go far enough down it to not be readily visible from the street.
Sure.
And Are there any rats and things in this alleyway?
I knew it.
Make an investigation or perception check.
I've got a fun sidebar.
Sure.
I can tell you.
22. Damn it.
Yeah, there are rats. You find them. They're like all like swarming a big clay pot.
Magic missile.
You kill a rat.
Oh my god.
Great. Fabulous.
About time.
That was
I'm
the
all-
whole campaign. Campaign
Yep,
over.
that's the whole campaign.
See you on campaign 3.
Retire the character.
Cool. I'm kind of at the end of this, in this alley. I'm moving away from the pile of garbage because it's kind of gross. I'm pulling out my water-damaged book from Corpus, and flipping it open to the only slightly damaged front page. And going to start chanting the ritual that is on the page.
Okay, and do you have all of the pieces?
After an hour of chanting, I'm going to kindle a small fire in this alleyway, and I have in my component pouch, I have an elm twig from the mystery package.
Mm-hmm.
I have the feather that Corvus stole and
returned.
gave back to me.
Yep.
I'm going to, as I'm putting it in the fire, I'm going to shake it and look annoyed. I have a mushroom from the package.
Mm-hmm.
I have my dead rat.
Yep.
I have a flask of oil that I got from one of the temples, I think, way back in Mandarian.
Cliffside, but yep.
Was it all right? I have a skin of spring water.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a Sahugan fingerbone.
Mm-hmm.
And the last bit of it is that I am pulling out my dagger and pricking my finger and adding a drop of my blood to the fire.
Okay. All right.
And as this all burns down,
Could be the end of campaign 1.
I'm assuming it's making some kind of
And you're doing this in this alleyway.
in this alleyway. Yeah.
Okay. You get about 10 minutes into the chanting, and like you hear a voice shout down, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I'm just warming my hands over the fire.
And you see a troop of like 3 guards, like breastplates, wide pants, big falchions, and halberds. What are you doing? You can't. There's a fire here. What are you doing? Are you homeless? Are you a vagrant?
I was just looking to warm up. I think I'm staying in one of these taverns over here.
Then go warm up in a tavern.
I got lost. Can you tell me how to get to? I'll just make up a name. The Golden Plate.
That is not a tavern.
Oh no, I must have forgotten. I'm so sorry. Hessian is not my first language.
We are speaking common. Everybody speaks common.
Oh,
That
I'm
would
so
be an
sorry.
inside joke if anyone was there.
Yeah.
I've apparently had much too much to drink. I'm so sorry. And
All right. Well, you're under arrest. All right. Gather her stuff in a bag, and you see the other 2 guards begin like coming down, like scooping up your various bits and like shoving it in like a sack.
I'm
And
gonna grab. If I'm only 10 minutes into the chanting, then the chanting happens before I start burning things.
okay.
So it's literally just a little trash fire at this point.
Yeah. One of the guards shoves all the stuff into a sack. The other one kicks fire over the sand.
Yep.
Or kicks sand over the fire.
Oh my goodness.
Can I have my things, please? I think it's one of these taverns over here.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
your things will be returned to you after your bail is paid, because you've been placed under arrest.
For what? For the crime of enjoying myself at a tavern?
Open fire without permit, littering, vagrancy.
Open fire without a permit.
You're in the middle of a very dry area, and there are combustible things all around you.
Well, I'm not from a combustible area, and how was I to know that this was a thing? I'm gonna grab my things and attempt to.
Okay, make an athletics check, because the guard has your stuff.
Yeah, no, not gonna succeed at all. I'm going to play tug of war briefly with this guard, and give up.
Yeah, we're gonna find out here. Let's see. Do.
You have fucked around, and here we are.
Where did they go? Ah, there we go.
I'm so sorry, the guard has vanished.
Gone forever.
Well,
How'd you do that? He's a witch.
yeah, you like go to grab, and he literally like holds the bag and picks it up, and you go up with the bag, and the main guy's like, "Are you going to go quietly? Or are you going to keep this up?" As you are dangling 3 feet off the ground.
Look, I didn't know I couldn't have an outdoor fire. It seemed like a stone alleyway to me. I'm sorry. Can I just go back to my lodging and sleep this off?
You have broken at least 3 laws of the city of Madinat.
Where are these laws posted? I had no idea these were laws.
How did you arrive to the city?
On a boat.
So you came through the docks, through the port. And you ignored the sign that tells visitors what rules to observe?
I saw no sign. Are you sure somebody hasn't defaced it?
Yes.
No such sign was pointed out to me. I didn't see any such sign.
So you need someone to point out things for you all the time.
When coming to a busy port with a lot of distractions, yes.
And you don't look around for signage?
As you may have noticed, I'm a little shorter than your average humanoid around here.
The sign is placed well above head height. It's easy to read.
Well, I'm sorry.
You are obviously just non-observant and don't care about other people and their property.
Look, I'm new to town. I'm sorry that I've not spent all of my time looking at the signs that you think I should find. I'm so sorry. Can I please be on my way now?
Yes, after we arrest you and take you in and you pay your fine.
What is the fine?
Well, I'm not the magistrate, but I imagine it will be somewhere in the range of 20 gold pieces.
At this point, I'm going to let go of. I'm going to stop dangling in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And land on my feet, and I'm going to throw a message in the direction of Renata, saying, guards are trying to arrest me for being vagrant in the streets. Help.
What's the range on message?
120 feet. I have no idea how far I've walked.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll a d20 on an 11 or higher. It works.
16.
Renata, you get this message.
I'm sorry, what was the message exactly? Did you say where you were, or?
She did not. She said, "I'm in the streets and being arrested for vagrancy. Help."
I take a long swig and finish off my beer. And if I think Selenar retired for the night, but if Corvus, Lunine, Ozo are still around, I'll say, so I think our sneaky friend just got herself into trouble with the police.
I have all the times not to follow her. How do you?
part of me
What makes you say? Did she
feels
do one of
that,
those mind things that y'all keep doing behind
She did one of
everyone's
those
back?
mind things, yeah. A lot of people have been doing that to me lately.
As you debate this, back in the alleyway, why are you pointing at me?
Where?
That's right, it requires pointing.
It does require pointing. I'm just kind of looking at him like, what?
You just pointed at me and then did nothing. You said nothing.
Correct. That is accurate, sir. Where would you like me to go?
I feel we must bring you perhaps to see a healer as well. You seem a little confused.
I'm not feeling very well.
Hmm.
I stumble a little.
Yes, we will take you to the cells and then we will get you checked out. Yes. We'll just add it on to your fine.
Cool.
And so they like manacle your hands behind your back and begin leading you out of the alleyway. Back in the tavern, what are you all doing?
We're gonna step out.
Oh, look for Andra.
Yeah, we're gonna step out and start looking around.
All right, everybody make a perception or survival check. The four of you, go ahead, make perception or survival, your choice.
I love that I get a choice now. Oh god. Let's see. Nervous.
Not terrible.
21, very nice.
We're not.
Great. So,
Where are you?
Corvus, you look down and you see a familiar set of boot prints and know the way. Renata steps outside and immediately starts walking in the other direction.
I'm imagining, as I watch this, me, Jeff, the player, watching this, I'm envisioning you all are hammered, going on this rescue
I
mission.
certainly am.
Bozo's not.
Okay, someone. I'm gonna tap Bozo and be like, "Can you pull him back? She went this way. Look at the boots. She wears a size. I don't know.
Very
Yeah.
small.
Two.
So, Ozo, you wrangle Renata and you all make your way following the boots.
Watch your hands, Ozo.
And you get to the edge of this alleyway right as this trio of guards leads a manacled Andra out from it. And the main guard's like,
And
make way!
I'm definitely like stumbling and I'm not uncooperative, but I'm definitely playing into the taking my time to get anywhere kind of.
The other two guards have picked you up and are now just carrying you, dragging your feet.
Oh my god, I
Yep.
love this.
Renata, do you wanna take point on this?
Make way! Make way!
You know what? How drunk are you right now? How many fingers am I
On a
holding up?
scale of 1 through 20?
The guards are walking away from you.
7.
All right, I got this. I'm just gonna walk up behind him and say, "Oh, excuse me, sirs.
Yes?
We were missing this one.
You were missing this one.
Yeah, she snuck out some time ago. I think she had a little bit too much to drink. Couldn't find the bathroom. What did she do? Did she pee on the side of the tavern again?
No, she was littering, practicing vagrancy, and attempting to start a fire in the middle. She was also chanting some weird names, which is very disturbing in and of itself.
Littering, Corvus says out loud. Didn't you read the sign at the docks when we got off the ship? There's no littering in Hessian.
You see?
I'm so sorry, sir. Clearly, everyone saw the sign, and somehow she was asleep. What were the other things you said?
Vagrancy. She's starting to a fire. She was also chanting in some weird chant, which isn't actually a crime. Like, chanting is not illegal, but
Yeah,
it was a little disturbing.
it's a made-up language. She thinks she's a bard.
Yes, well, she's under arrest for these crimes.
Well, so what can we do now? Does she need to spend a night in jail and pay a fine? What's the
Yes, she must be processed and then a fine levied against her, probably in the range of 20 gold pieces.
20 gold pieces? Okay. Where are you taking her for the night, just so we can check in tomorrow?
We are taking her to the cells of this area.
Do you mind if I follow you? I don't know my way around. We're all kind of new here, as you probably have noticed from this one. I'd like to know where to come pay bail in the morning.
Well, she will be charged in the morning, so bail will probably be sorted out then.
You're gonna miss your breakfast, I say, like, patronizingly to Andra.
Uncle just rolls her eyes at Corvus.
Yeah.
So
in this moment, Renata, you are here. You know that the guards of Madinat are ostensibly very honor-bound and very, by the book and very whatever. You also know that this is Madinat, and money talks here.
I'm gonna go to the guard. Not the one holding Andra, but the one that's not holding Andra. And I'll say, fine, sir. She is our friend and colleague, and it would mean a lot that you release her back into our care. By the way, I like to say this, but I'm sort of a big deal around here. We're not a soul angel. And I'll pull out my hand, I'll shake his and palm him a gold coin.
You palm him one gold coin, and he looks at it. He's like, "This will maybe cover a portion of her fine."
it's symbolic, I think. He's extending the. There's more of that if you need it. Nudge or not.
Right, a portion. So.
Well, she has a fine of 20 gold pieces, so with this, I will put it towards her in the books, and it will be 19. Well, it might be more, it might be less, but we'll count this towards it. There is much paperwork to file here. And I have to bring her back to the cells to file the paperwork.
Isn't that a drag, though, the paperwork?
Of course it is, but rules are rules, and the law is what it is.
Well, is there like a fast track fee if we, gave you, let's say, 25 gold? We could speed all this up and get this fine out of the way. Make sure we drag her back to the hotel, lock the door so that she sleeps us off.
Your friend is extremely annoying.
That is true. You are right, and you can't pick them sometimes. But if we get her off your hands, that's less annoyance for you. Because trust me, this thing doesn't stop.
Yes, but my duty is my duty, and 25 gold is enough to cover the fines and perhaps some portion of the paperwork that I must do.
Would 30 gold cover everything and maybe get yourselves around at the bar so you can go home earlier and not have to deal with this?
He looks at the other two guards who have said nothing, and he says, "If you wish to make a donation of 30 gold to the betterment of Madinat, then the citizenry would be very grateful for such a thing."
Well, yeah, it's the least we can do for the fire and possibly the chanting. And I'm gonna grab a little bit. I'm gonna quick-handed count out 30 gold as I'm saying this last little part, as I'm sort of still bullshitting. Slip it in the other pouch that I carry that's always empty on me, and hold out my hand. One donation, if I may. Does this see covered the offenses tonight, or just we can sleep it off and take this one back to where we're staying?
He takes the little pouch, looks inside of it, and says, "An appreciative donation towards the betterment of Madinat and its culture." And then he like nods at the other two guards, and there's a clink as the manacles are taken off Andra, and she is dropped face first into the sand. And the bag of her acquired stuff is also dropped on her back. And the three guards begin to walk away.
Corvus bends down to pick her up out of the sand and goes, "Please do not say anything else until we get back to the inn." And we stand up.
Yeah.
Let's get home, huh?
I'll pick up the
Go
bag.
inside.
I was gonna say I will take my bag.
1 gold, really? I say to Renata.
Yeah. All right. I thought 1 gold would be enough, and now you gave him 30, so now he has 31 gold pieces.
That is true. Consider it a tip for the insult.
Yes.
Once
sorry,
we are
inflation.
away, once we are
Tariffs.
away from the guards, whatever thing, Andra will dig in her pouch and hand Corvus 30 gold and say thank you.
Well, okay.
And I put out my hand.
I'll take from my 30 gold. I'll give you a gold piece. How's that?
Okay,
Listen.
it feels like the guards are still winning this one, but sure. I got my gold piece back.
Listen, Andra. Did you go outside to kill a rat?
I mean, among other things.
Yeah, listen, I know you want to get through whatever that cookbook tells you, but
Have you been reading my things again?
no, just that first time. But I was going to offer to help you with the rat thing, since it seems to be eluding you, and I'm unfortunately pretty familiar with rats, but it sounds like you might have that one covered. Let's just pick our timing on the chanting part, shall we?
How was I to know that they were going to come down that dirty old alleyway?
That's fair. I already got stopped by them once tonight, so be on your guard. No pun intended.
How dare guards patrol their city?
How dare! This isn't the Dust
Okay.
Bowl or Cliffside. Yeah. As we walk back, how is Renata doing? How you doing, Renata? Are you actually that drunk? Or are you like just normal?
I had a couple drinks. I don't know if Jared wants to state how drunk I am, or I can declare it myself.
Yeah, it's up to you. How drunk do you want to
I
be?
like to say I am.
Andra will
Let me
stop
roll for
stumbling.
it.
She
I'm
was
gonna
just
roll.
pretending to be drunk. Andra's gonna stop stumbling around and walk
I've
normally.
had 5 drinks in the span of like, I don't know, 2-3 hours. So I'll say tipsy. Dipsy doodles.
Yep.
See doodly.
Well, okay, so what I'm getting at is Corpus is going to keep an eye on him. Since he went the wrong way, and after this tonight, he's like, oh, you know, and if he gets a second, to like pull him off to the side, he will. But I'm not trying to make a scene after what happened, so. I guess that's up to Mike on how close he's sticking with the group and or whatnot.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, I mean, so right now, we're all retiring for the night.
You are walking the 75 feet back to the inn.
Back to and
To finish
Yeah.
the chant. I'm just kidding.
yeah,
it's a
I like to imagine that we all have these like parent vibes that we're giving off to Andra and being like, all right, Andra, go to your room, think about what you've done, and no chanting for a month. That's it. We mean it.
I'm gonna look at Andra when he says this, and I'm just gonna wink. Yep, go along now, Andra. Go to bed.
So,
Past your bedtime.
Okay.
Andra,
Okay, so Andra returns to the room she is sharing with Renata.
Yep.
I think I'm sharing with Selenar, aren't I?
I think you're sharing with
Yeah.
Selenar.
Yes.
And when you get
not-
there, Selenar is.
Oh, yes, it is Selenar. Sorry.
He's
He's up.
doodling in his journal.
Selenar's up. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to just kind of look at him and be like drop her things and, flop down on her bed.
If you're
Well-
gone, it's just me. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
I tried to wait. There was a pregnant pause. I tried to wait.
Is Selenar awake, like you've woken up from your trance, or like you haven't gone to bed yet?
No, like I retired from the bar to go and write thoughts about our visit to Renata's
Alright.
childhood home and whatever.
So like you haven't been to bed yet. It's not like you just woke up.
I imagine he's doing that thing where you have a when you go back to your hotel and he's just like sitting on his bed with his shoes off, writing in a journal.
Sure.
So this is not important.
Was that it? I need to know.
There's no scene here.
No.
Okay.
No,
I didn't
just
want to walk on anyone. So it's just me, Ozo, and Renata left, yeah?
And Lunine.
and Lunine.
And Lunine. That's right. Oh yeah, he went rolling through this whole thing. Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull Renata off to the side and just be like, "You doing okay?"
Renata takes a quick beat and goes,
You don't have to be in character.
the better question to ask, Corvus, is, are you okay? We never really talked since your big reveal. Before we got on that boat, you laid out all the cards on the table. Told us
Yeah.
what you did, with the snooping, the sneaking, and also that you're very good at changing faces. And that takes guts. I applaud you. That takes guts. I know I wouldn't have done that.
I've gone so far with you all. I just couldn't. It was just sort of eating away at me to keep pretending to be something that I didn't have to be. Yeah, it was really starting to just wear at me a little bit, and you would think I'd be used to that because I've done it my whole life, but it seems a little different now. I'm not strictly with a bunch of colleagues at work
And
anymore.
that begs a further question. Who are you when no one is watching? I mean, you wear so many masks for others. Feels like you've forgotten your own face.
Corvus is going to take a long pause on this because this question has been on his mind, since the lion. You're not wrong, Renata. I have been wearing Corvus now for most of my adult life. Ever since I was out on my own, ever since I came to Mendarian. And it probably, if I'm being honest, would have stayed that way for a little longer. I guess the catalyst for some of this was meeting that weird dandelion. It seemed to know a little bit too much about me. And it made me think back. You seem to know a lot about my mother someone I haven't seen in years and no one else seemed to know anything about. And yeah, it made me realize that I was someone else. Back when I was just a happy-go-lucky kid in a little village outside of Mandarian. Didn't know any better and didn't know what sort of bullshit life I would fall into shortly after.
Yeah, tell me about it. Definitely know that feeling. Always hindsight, right? Look back and know
Yeah.
how good we had it.
Who were you back then when you were that happy-go-lucky kid? You were not a soul angel?
I was just a poor boy from a poor family. Sorry.
I'd like to roll for an
I
attack.
heard it right away.
I said
was
the
just a
first
poor
part,
boy,
and then
and
like
then I
the
was
song clicked in my head.
Oh, I'm
Sleight of
singing it
hand.
right now.
I would like to
Hear
put my
it.
dagger in his side. I'm going to whisper,
You auto crit.
Oh,
yes.
so good.
You do max damage. Renata is dead at your feet.
Technically, it's also a sneak attack because you are my ally. Think about that.
Oh, yeah. It's a coup de grace. Renata is dead.
Yeah, he ran out.
No death saves.
A true hero.
There's a sign up on the bar tomorrow.
Your dagger is now magical. It's a dagger of bard slaying.
It was a tune, a sad tune every time.
When it activates, this magical property activates when a bard makes a horrible pun.
Amazing. Anyway, sorry, get back to the...
Right, to the seriousness of the matter.
The heart of it, you might say.
The heart of it. So, I'm sorry. The question was, who I was? Who was I?
Who are you? And this doesn't have to be a literal answer for us to say.
I am still creating my identity. And I think I have it. It's been working out so far. Been working out well.
Let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, one more thing. He'll say, being a bard and being someone whose goal is to have their music known throughout the world, you have to understand that I may take some creative liberties with my backstory.
Lunine? I mean, not Lunine.
Lunine,
get over here.
The whole time. Yes.
Renata, you asked me a very good question tonight, and so I want to... You don't need advice from me, but I'm gonna tell you this. I've got more than one backstory depending on where I am and who I am supposed to be that day. None of them are as fleshed out as Corvus. But I've been Corvus so long that I really did start to lose sight that it was a mask. Because before that, I was just a boy named Lux.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Nuuli Forged.
Just a boy named Lux.
Well done, everybody.
One quick question to ask before the stream ends. Is there a is there a fireplace
in our
in our room?
No, you don't have a suite, so you do not have a private fireplace.
Damn it.
Well, tomorrow.
It's worth asking.
Yeah. But well done, everyone. I hope you had fun this evening. It was more. It didn't go the way I thought it would, but it was a good time. Hope you all had fun. You're just getting your feet into Madinat and what's going on. You've got a lot of rumors. You've done a lot of growth. So good times coming your way.
Committed a number of misdemeanors.
Yes, some of you are more problematic than others. But thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you, Taco San Mashu. Thank you, I've Got It. Thank you, everyone who lurked and hung out with us in chat. We will be back in 2 weeks. We will not be here next week, unfortunately. So we will be back on July 1st. Tuesday, July 1st, we will be back. So thank you very much for being here. We'll go around, say our goodbyes. I'll figure out who we're going to raid, and that'll be that. We'll start our goodbyes with Selenar.
Hello, I have been Jeff and playing Selenar as per the usual. Yeah, I will maybe be here in 2 weeks. I'm a little uncertain. I need to figure out my life, but you should watch anyway.
Fair enough.
Fun time.
Yeah, fair enough. Next up, we got Renata.
That's me. Thanks for watching. Everything went swimmingly. So life is grand. And Renata's happy. And nothing bad will happen next time you all meet up.
Definitely not.
We'll find out next time. Please do. There's so much more to uncover. Yeah. That's it.
Glorious. And Ozo.
Hey, I'm Ozo. And I'm Amber. And sorry for being late. And, yeah. I'm gonna bother you all for notes. Because I don't know where we are or why. I wasn't here last time. But once I'm more caught up, tune in next time for Ozo to attempt the inside joke.
Wonderful. Then we've got Lunine. You're muted.
Who is muted?
Right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Wonderful. Thanks, Tanner. Corvus or Lux.
Yeah, this has been all of those people and more. At least 5. I've made at least 5. Anyway, played by Matt, and you get to meet them all over the course of this campaign if we don't blow up Hessian.
Thank you. And Andra.
Hey, Mandra. I'm now apparently a criminal. And I've been played by Sarah. And catch up next week when I once again attempt to do sketchy rituals while no one is looking, because it hasn't occurred to her that like this is something that she can do and not get in trouble for. Yeah, we are Nuuli Forged, and we have a YouTube channel where all of you can catch up on what we were doing last week while Ozo was not here. And prior to that, including our entire first campaign, all available on YouTube. See you in a couple weeks with my dead rat.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We're going to raid over to Squillos. They're doing a little Trevor Project charity stream. So by all means, hop in this raid. Let them know they've been newly raided. And we will see you July 1st at 7 p.m. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all those who came in and followed and been silent and lurked and all the stuff and been chatting. It's greatly appreciated that you choose to spend time with us. We will see you in a couple weeks. Stay safe. If you're in New York City, make sure you vote because there's an important election coming out. And thank you all so much for being here. And we'll see you next time on Nuuli Forged. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.